Shakur, you're gonna see this boxing style that you don't usually get from Tank. You're gonna see IQ. We saw IQ, but to me, it was low IQ because the reason why it was low IQ is because everybody followed the script. And what I mean by that is, you see somebody's IQ take place when a fighter makes an adjustment, and now you have to adjust to what that fighter is doing, and that's kind of where you see
who's smart,
you know what I mean?
Who get a hold of it.
I think my fight with Terrence shows a very high level of IQ from both of us. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And that's what Tank is gonna do with Shakur.
Who else is there if Tank trying to prove he's still the man? Who else you gonna fight?
I try to get a message to Tank for him to like make sure he understood. Like when you get past this legal situation, he's feel me on this. Tell me if y'all feel me on this. He's gonna be just like Mike Tyson was when Mike came out of jail. Everybody
gonna be waiting for him.
Mike was the meanest thing before he went away.
Yeah,
Tank. And when he came out, everybody wanted to see what version he was now and who he was now.
Yeah, why he just said his name on TV like that so many times for all the money people to throw the money. But I think it's a better fight for him out there than Conor.
The thing with Conor, you get is that status, that level is gonna go to another level, and I think that I could be wrong, but I think he might even be considering that too. You know. He ain't in this thing just to win the medals and the trophies and become pound for pound, that kind of stuff. He really, I think Shakur wants to be just like Terrence. Consider
Shawn Porter's recent comments have sparked debate. He says Shakur Stevenson's low fight IQ makes Tank Davis a serious problem. While Gervonta Tank Davis has been released, talks of his fight with Shakur Stevenson are heating up. Shawn Porter has shared his thoughts, believing the matchup will happen, but it won't be what fans expect. In Porter's view, Stevenson hasn't yet faced a fighter who truly tests his fight IQ. He sees Tank as the right opponent, bringing the perfect challenge to push Shakur and make him work harder than ever before.
We ain't been able to show it because ain't nobody been able to pull it out of him. We looking forward to the big fights. We looking forward to the big matchups because those are the kind of people that's gonna pull it out of him. So with a fight with Shakur, you're gonna see this boxing style that you don't usually get from Tank. You're gonna see IQ. We saw IQ, but to me, it was low IQ because the reason why it was low IQ is because everybody followed the script. And what I mean by that is, you see somebody's IQ take place when a fighter makes an adjustment, and now you have to adjust to what that fighter is doing, and that's kind of where you see
who's smart,
you know what I mean?
Who get a hold of it.
I think my fight with Terrence shows a very high level of IQ from both of us. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And that's what Tank is going to do with Shakur. He's going to come into the ring and be a different version of himself.
Another fighter in the mix is Conor Benn, but experts believe he isn't as competitive. In every sense, a fight with Gervonta Davis would be a bigger test. With the money factor, the world might still see Conor Benn, and Shawn Porter has revealed that Shakur is in negotiations for that fight as well. In Porter's view, facing Benn would give Shakur higher status and cement him among the elite fighters of this era.
Is Shakur going to be pound for pound? I mean, I hate the whole pound for pound conversation, but that was an elite guy that you just one hand,
True.
He clearly is in the top 10.
But he made it look so easy.
He made it look so easy. What can you do?
I don't want to see him fight Conor Benn.
Nah,
I don't want to see that. But I think Shakur hollering his name because he know he easy work. That's why he just said his name on TV like that so many times for all the money people to throw the money. But I think it's a better fight for him out there than Conor.
The thing with Conor, you get is that status, that level is gonna go to another level, and I think that. I could be wrong, but I think he might even be considering that too.
Furthermore, confirming that Shakur Stevenson's next fight could likely be Conor Benn, Shawn Porter believes this is a favorable matchup. In his view, if Shakur faces Benn, he should come out on top without much trouble. However, Porter also points out that this fight goes beyond an easy win. Beating Conor Benn would significantly boost Shakur's profile, elevate his career to a new level, and strengthen his legacy by firmly placing his name among boxing's elites.
He ain't in this thing just to win the medals and the trophies and become pound for pound, that kind of stuff. He really, I think Shakur wants to be just like Terrence, considered an elite superstar in the game. And if I ain't number one, I'm number two. and I think that the fight with Conor gets him there.
While Shawn Porter believes the ultimate test for Shakur Stevenson is Gervonta Davis, a fighter who would truly match him in boxing IQ and even lead the fight, Terrence Crawford disagrees. Crawford has been vocal about Shakur's upcoming opportunities, including a possible showdown with Tank. The big question now is which fight happens next, and whether Tank can truly pose the threat Porter predicts. The entire boxing world is watching closely as intrigue continues to build around Shakur's next move.
Like I said, I respect Tank. Boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
we gonna take his personality and personal things out of it. But boxing, he's definitely talented.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And yeah, he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur's a different fighter. You know, Shakur's different. You know, people may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they say the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive fighters.
Yeah.
Tank is not going to be able to hit Shakur like he hit everybody else. And he know that.
After Shakur Stevenson's masterclass display, the junior lightweight division appears to be entering a new era, with serious debate growing over who should challenge him next. Duke McKenzie has pointed to Gary Antoine Russell as a fighter capable of causing real problems for Stevenson. While other names have been mentioned, McKenzie believes Russell stands out as the most deserving and realistic contender to emerge as Shakur's next major test.
In my eyes, in that weight division, there's only one fight that's going to give him a good fight. There's only one fighter who even stands a chance of beating him. And see, Gary Antoine Russell, him, that guy, that I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Because, you know, that guy's got the class, he's got the power, he's improving all the time, just like Shakur Stevenson. You know, he's a champion in his own right. So let's hope they get a unification series going on, right? You know, throw Dalton Smith into that equation, throw the other champion into that equation. You got that 10-stone division right now has to be the best division on the planet. The 10-stone, the light welterweight division, or the junior welterweights as the Americans like to call it.
Gary Antoine Russell has also weighed in on the potential matchup, and his take has stirred debate. Open to dropping to 135 pounds to face either Gervonta Davis or Shakur Stevenson, Russell believes the fight wouldn't live up to the super fight label. In his view, the bout would be slow and tactical, ultimately favoring Tank. He said, "I believe it's going to be another boring fight, but I believe Tank will win. I don't think Shakur will do enough to beat Tank. It will be less exciting than Tank vs. Lamont Roach." Lamont stood in the middle of the ring and exchanged mano a mano. "I believe Shakur is a technician fighter with good defense and takes no risk. If a person is stronger than him, he's going to keep you right there at bay. He's going to line you up and pick you apart." Russell doesn't think Shakur would do enough offensively to secure a win, predicting a drawn-out fight that lacks excitement. Russell further explained that the stylistic matchup is what limits the fight's excitement. With Tank being a patient, slow starter, and strong defender himself, Russell believes the fight would turn into a long tactical chess match, stretching from round 1 to 12. He said, "Tank has good defense too. A lot of the shots won't land. It would turn into a fight where Tank is the stalker and he's trying to corner Shakur by taking the fight to him. Tank is a slow starter. Shakur is going to be bouncing around, using angles, to make sure he doesn't get hit with a power shot. But I feel that would be dragged out from round 1 to 12. Much of the conversation centers on Shakur Stevenson's elite skill set, but Roy Jones Jr. believes there's one factor that could change everything: Tank's power. Despite Gervonta Davis making headlines for issues outside the ring, Jones says that if the fight finally happens, Shakur is still the likely winner. He highlights Shakur's discipline and development, particularly since the Teofimo bout, while acknowledging that Tank's punching power remains the one threat capable of disrupting the script.
Right now, Shakur wins it because of his discipline. Because he showed against Teofimo that he can stay very disciplined all night. And he's the type of guy, he don't really do a lot of crazy stuff in his life normally, so it's like discipline is a thing that is not only exercised inside the ring, it's exercised also outside the ring. And as we see, sometimes Gervonta has problems with discipline, but we have never seen Shakur have problems with discipline. We've seen him be more disciplined at the right times than we've seen him not have discipline. So with the fight being like it is right now, I would lean towards Shakur because of his discipline, but don't get it twisted. If somebody could beat him, Tank Davis will be that person.
Discussing the matchup, Roy Jones Jr. emphasizes just how dangerous Gervonta Davis can be at his peak. He believes that if Tank puts his outside-the-ring issues behind him and remains focused, he becomes a serious threat to anyone. While many fans favor Tank due to his power, Roy still leans towards Shakur, but cautions that Tank should never be overlooked if he shows a new wrinkle on fight night.
Because of his intangibles. When Tank is disciplined and got his mind on right, Tank's a problem for anybody. Tank can fight better than most people think he can. It's just that sometimes his outside antics get the better of him, and it makes people think less of him, but don't underestimate Tank Davis. If Tank is motivated and ready to fight, Tank is a problem for anybody.
Since his standout performance against Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson's rise has accelerated, opening the door to multiple opponent options. With Turki Al-Sheikh presenting several opportunities, Roy Jones Jr. sees this as proof of Shakur's elite ability. He describes Stevenson as a fighter who takes minimal damage while methodically breaking opponents down, much like he did against Teofimo.
Should he take those fights?
He's going to have to take some of them. You don't want to fight hard every fight out because you don't want to have to, if you don't have to, but when he's paying you $10 million to fight, you can fight whoever you fight out because you get paid for it. We didn't fight every fight out hard because no matter who we fought, they don't going to pay us so much. So why we go fight 3 tough guys in a row when you going to pay us like we fighting 3 regular fights in a row? Now he paying like you fighting 3 super fights in a row. That's what Turk brings to the table. So you can go fight 3 super fights in a row. And to be honest with you, that fight he just had was a good fight, but he didn't take no punishment. And as long as he can keep it like that, he can fight whoever he wants to fight every time he wants. Because Turk giving him money to fight big fights every time. Why not fight a big fight every time? He's making it so easy, he's not taking punishment. Look at him today. He looks like nothing happened to death.
Right.
After the fight, he let nothing happen to him.
Another matchup gaining attention is Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney, a fight many believe would be highly competitive. Roy Jones Jr. says this is the ideal moment for Shakur to show why he belongs among the elite. As Stevenson weighs his options, he has named Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney as top priorities. While Roy admits Shakur's skill is difficult to overcome, he believes both opponents still present real challenges.
Or if they weren't such close friends, it would have been Keisha. But they're too close of friends to fight now, so it's like, hey, boxing never gonna get that fight.
Right.
But that's a fight we would have wanted to be able to see. But nowadays, everybody, and it's like that because of social media, so many people are like cooler now that, it's like, it's not like it was. So some of the good fights we won't get to see because they are cool or they friends, or like the 2 Klitschko's, they were brothers. We never were gonna get to see them fight each other because they were brothers. So it's like, sometimes we don't get the better fights because of things like that. But Shakur versus anybody is going to be a good fight because Shakur is so disciplined and he's so good. So him with any of the top names is going to be a good fight. He don't need to fight Keyshawn. He got so many other people he can fight with the Tank Davises of the world, with the Devin Haney's of the world. So it's a lot of fights out there to be fought. And with that being said, he's going to get a chance to prove if he's the best of them.
As the world recently witnessed, Shakur Stevenson truly schooled Teofimo Lopez, a humbling moment for a fighter who had been loudly calling for Terence Crawford. After once dismissing Shakur as Crawford's protege meant to deliver a lesson, Teofimo was instead left bruised and outclassed. Now the conversation shifts forward, as Lamont Roach has pushed for a potential showdown with Shakur at 135. He wrote on Twitter, "Obviously the best fight at 135 is me versus Shakur Stevenson. Whether it's next or not, will be great that night. Salute champ, you a bad man." Shakur has welcomed the prospect of a matchup with Lamont Roach Jr., calling it an exciting opportunity. He praised Roach's decision to move up and fight at 135, saying he'll be ready to bring his best if the bout happens. He responded saying, "Yes sir bro, you is too. Respect for not moving like a goofy for clout. Real salute, we gon' make it happen for sure. May the best man win." While many believe Shakur Stevenson shouldn't move down to 135 after beating Teofimo Lopez at 140, Tim Bradley respects Stevenson's decision. He highlights how effortlessly Shakur handled Lopez and says he deserves the right to choose his path. With a Lamont Roach matchup in discussion, Bradley suggests another top contender at 135 who matches Stevenson skill-wise. Based on the facts, he identifies the most logical next opponent for Shakur, one no fan can ignore.
Who should he fight next? Shakur wants to go to 135. Shakur wants to, I'm going to tell y'all a fighter. A lot of y'all might disagree with me. I'm going to tell y'all a fighter that can get with Shakur. I ain't say beat him, but I'm saying that can get with him. That's on his level. Like this. His name is O'Shaquie Foster. That's his name. O'Shaquie Foster, yes. Shakur goes down and fight that man right there. Because I'm saying Tank ain't gonna fight him if he goes down to 35. Like, when you a fighter and you fight at a certain level, right? You get a certain amount of money, like you trying to be like, all right, I'm trying to either meet that and get a little bit more money, or, you know, I'm trying to surpass that. I'm trying to challenge somebody even better than that. You know?
Tim Bradley explains why O'Shaquie Foster could be the right next opponent for Shakur Stevenson. He notes the history between them and says that while Stevenson is highly skilled, Foster has areas where he could capitalize. Bradley points out that Stevenson's last loss came against a southpaw and believes Foster's ability to switch stances from orthodox to southpaw could pose real challenges for Shakur in the ring.
They got history. O'Shaquie has a lot of what Shakur has with the distance. Got a fast jab too, coming from the southpaw stance. The last fighter that beat Shakur Stevenson was a damn southpaw. O'Shaquie can switch to orthodox too. He can. O'Shaquie big too. He not no small 130 pounder. He pretty big too. Got a little size on him. Got some reach on him. Got some pop on him. O'Shaquie lets that backhand go too. Sometimes he holds on a little bit too much too for my liking. Shit, I wish he threw that mug a little bit more, too. But skill for skill, that distance stuff, punches coming and tuck right here and counter the pulls, all of that. O'Shaquie got slip counters. He weaves. He can go to the body well. O'Shaquie got a little bit more than Shakur Stevenson.
Highlighting the strengths and weaknesses of both fighters, Gary Russell Jr. believes that to defeat Shakur Stevenson, Richardson would need to disrupt his control of the ring. Russell argues that Shakur thrives when he dictates distance, tempo, and positioning. Taking that control away, applying constant pressure, and forcing uncomfortable exchanges would be key for Richardson to neutralize Shakur's defense and create real opportunities to challenge him.
Richard Richardson, I believe his game is just a little more educated than Richard Richardson. He can control and navigate the ring a lot better. You know, I feel as though Richard Richardson, he tends to move quicker than he wants to move. You know, he moves quicker than he wants to move when he's in there. He doesn't look like he's in control. When Shakur fights, sometimes he does jump back and skip back a lot, you know, but it still comes off as though that he's still in control of the essence of the ring and etc. You got to break his control.
There you have it. Shakur Stevenson, the defensive genius, versus the power and unpredictability of Gervonta Davis, with Conor Benn, Devin Haney, and Gary Russell Jr. also in the conversation. Who truly has the edge? Is Shakur untouchable, or can Tank, or another challenger, finally flip the script? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear who you think will come out on top. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explosive boxing analysis, predictions, and insider debates. Hit the bell so you never miss a fight breakdown.